Just when fans thought 2026 would be all about BTS's group activities, a new question has started spreading across social media. What if Kim Taehyung is quietly preparing something of his own? With every appearance, every interaction, and every unexpected moment drawing massive attention, many fans are beginning to wonder whether a new solo music era could be closer than anyone expects. The past few weeks have been incredibly exciting for BTS fans around the world. Following the completion of military service and the group's return to activities together, attention has naturally focused on what comes next for BTS as a whole. Yet amid the excitement surrounding the group, another conversation has quietly gained momentum online. That conversation revolves around Taehyung. Known globally as V of BTS, Taehyung has always occupied a unique position within the music industry. His deep voice, artistic vision, and ability to create emotional connections through music have helped him build one of the strongest individual fan bases in the world. Now, in June 2026, fans are once again asking a familiar question. Could Taehyung be preparing new solo music? The speculation began for a simple reason. Despite BTS activities taking center stage, Taehyung continues attracting attention wherever he goes. Whether attending events, spending time with friends, appearing in photos that quickly go viral, or simply making brief public appearances, his presence consistently becomes a major topic of discussion. For many fans, this feels strangely familiar. Before previous solo projects, there were often subtle signs that only became obvious in hindsight. Fans remember periods when Taehyung seemed unusually active creatively, sharing glimpses of his thoughts, interests, and inspirations before eventually unveiling new music. Because of that history, many supporters are paying close attention to every development in 2026. Of course, there is currently no official announcement regarding a new solo album or single. Any discussion about future music remains purely speculative. However, that has not stopped fans from examining the possibilities. One major reason for the growing curiosity is Taehyung's artistic personality. Unlike many artists who follow predictable patterns, Taehyung has always embraced unpredictability. His solo releases have often reflected personal emotions, unique aesthetics, and musical styles that differ from mainstream expectations. This willingness to experiment has made each project feel like an event. Fans never quite know what to expect. That uncertainty is precisely what fuels excitement whenever speculation begins. Adding to the discussion is the fact that Taehyung appears to be entering a new chapter of his career. Following military service and the return of BTS as a complete group, many observers believe that all members will eventually balance group activities with individual pursuits. For Taehyung, that could mean exploring new artistic directions. Some fans believe he may continue developing the jazz-inspired and soulful sound that has become closely associated with his solo work. Others think he could surprise everyone by experimenting with entirely different genres. A growing number of fans even speculate that he may be working with international producers behind the scenes. There is currently no evidence supporting such collaborations. Still, the theory remains popular. Part of the reason is Taehyung's reputation within the global music industry. Over the years, numerous artists, producers, and creatives have expressed admiration for his voice and artistic sensibilities. Because of this, many fans believe opportunities for international collaborations are likely available whenever he chooses to pursue them. Another factor contributing to the speculation is timing. 2026 presents a unique opportunity. BTS has returned as a group, attracting enormous worldwide attention. At the same time, public interest in each member individually remains exceptionally strong. From a strategic perspective, any solo release would immediately generate headlines. That reality has led some fans to wonder whether a carefully timed project might already be in development. Others point to Taehyung's history of working quietly behind the scenes. Throughout his career, he has occasionally surprised fans with projects that were developed largely out of public view. This tendency has created a belief among supporters that even if new music exists, very few people would know about it until he is ready to reveal it. The mystery surrounding his creative process only strengthens the speculation. Meanwhile, discussions across social media continue to grow. Fan communities regularly share theories about potential concepts, album themes, and musical directions. Some imagine a continuation of the emotional storytelling that has characterized much of his previous work. Others hope to hear more self-written material. Many simply express excitement at the possibility of hearing new music from him regardless of genre. Interestingly, much of the conversation is driven less by concrete evidence and more by anticipation. Fans are not necessarily responding to specific clues. Instead, they are responding to possibility. The possibility that one of music's most recognizable artists may be preparing his next creative chapter. And history suggests that such anticipation is understandable. Whenever Taehyung releases music, the response tends to be significant. His projects frequently generate strong chart performances, widespread media coverage, and intense engagement across digital platforms. This track record naturally raises expectations for whatever might come next. At the same time, many fans emphasize that there is no rush. After years of demanding schedules, military service, and group commitments, supporters often express a desire for Taehyung to move at his own pace. If new music arrives soon, they will celebrate. If it takes longer, they're willing to wait. That patience reflects the trust many fans have developed in his artistic decisions. Still, curiosity remains impossible to ignore. Every interview, appearance, or social media update becomes part of a larger conversation. Could it mean something? Is a new era approaching? Or are fans simply reading too much into ordinary moments? For now, nobody outside Taehyung's inner circle knows the answer. Yet that uncertainty may be exactly what keeps the discussion alive. As June 2026 continues, one thing is clear: interest in Taehyung's future music has not faded. If anything, it appears stronger than ever. Whether he ultimately releases a single, an album, a collaboration, or something entirely unexpected, anticipation continues building among fans around the world. And perhaps that is the most remarkable part of the story. Without a teaser, without an announcement, without a confirmed project, Taehyung has once again become the center of one of the biggest conversations in the BTS fandom. For now, fans can only speculate. But if history has taught them anything, it is that surprises often arrive when they are least expected. And that is why many supporters continue asking the same question every day. Could Taehyung surprise fans with new solo music in 2026? At the moment, nobody knows for sure. But millions of people around the world are watching closely, waiting for the moment when the answer finally arrives. As the speculation continued to spread across fan communities, another interesting theory began gaining attention. Some fans wondered whether Taehyung's recent public appearances were serving a larger purpose than anyone realized. While there is no evidence suggesting that his appearances are connected to future music, supporters couldn't help but notice how frequently discussions about his artistic future resurfaced whenever new photos or videos appeared online. Part of what makes Taehyung such a fascinating artist is his ability to create anticipation without saying very much at all. Throughout his career, he has often allowed his work to speak for itself. Unlike artists who regularly tease upcoming projects, Taehyung has frequently preferred a quieter approach, revealing new music only when he feels it is ready. This tendency has led many fans to believe that if new music is indeed being prepared, there may be very few obvious clues available to the public. The possibility alone has become enough to spark countless conversations. In online communities, fans have started discussing what kind of music they would like to hear next. Some hope that Taehyung continues exploring the warm jazz and soul influences that have become closely associated with his artistic identity. They argue that his deep vocal tone is perfectly suited for emotional ballads and sophisticated arrangements. Others would like to see him experiment further. Perhaps a more cinematic sound. Perhaps a contemporary R&B direction. Perhaps something entirely unexpected that nobody has considered. The diversity of opinions reflects one important reality. Taehyung has never been an artist who can easily be placed into a single category. His musical interests have always appeared broad and constantly evolving. Because of that, predicting his next move feels almost impossible. That unpredictability is one of the reasons fans remain so invested. Some supporters have even begun imagining potential themes for a future project. If a new album were released in 2026, what stories might it tell? Would it reflect on personal growth, new experiences, and the changes that have taken place over the past few years? Or would it focus on entirely different emotions and perspectives? No one knows. Yet these questions continue to inspire discussion every day. Another factor contributing to the excitement is the current stage of Taehyung's career. After years of success with BTS and a growing body of solo work, many believe he has reached a point where artistic freedom is greater than ever before. This freedom creates endless possibilities. He could choose to create music that follows current trends. He could ignore trends completely and pursue a more personal vision. He could collaborate with new producers, songwriters, or musicians. Or he could surprise everyone by returning to a style that fans already love. Every option seems plausible. Meanwhile, industry observers have noted that global interest in Taehyung remains exceptionally strong. Even brief appearances continue generating headlines across entertainment media and social platforms. Few artists maintain this level of public attention during periods without major releases. This reality has not gone unnoticed by fans. Many believe that whenever Taehyung decides to release new music, the response will be enormous. Streaming platforms would likely see significant activity. Social media trends would likely be dominated by discussions of the project. Fan communities around the world would immediately begin analyzing every lyric, visual, and creative choice. In many ways, the anticipation itself has become part of the experience. What makes the situation even more intriguing is that Taehyung has often spoken about music as something deeply personal. Rather than viewing songs simply as products, he has frequently approached them as opportunities to express emotions and tell stories. Because of this, fans often expect a new release to offer insight into his thoughts and artistic perspective. That expectation naturally increases curiosity whenever speculation begins. Some fans have even suggested that the next solo era could be his most ambitious yet. Again, there is no official information supporting such claims. However, supporters point to the growth he has demonstrated over the years as both a vocalist and performer. They believe that every new project reflects a greater level of confidence and artistic maturity. If that pattern continues, many expect future music to showcase new dimensions of his talent. As these discussions continue, one thing becomes increasingly clear. Fans are not simply waiting for songs. They are waiting for a new chapter, a new story, a new creative journey. Whether that journey begins tomorrow, next month, or much later remains unknown. For now, all anyone can do is watch, listen, and wait. And perhaps somewhere behind the scenes, while millions of fans continue speculating, Taehyung is quietly working on ideas that nobody has heard yet. If that turns out to be true, the surprise could be even bigger than fans imagine. Until then, the question remains unanswered, but the excitement surrounding the possibility continues to grow with every passing day. As days passed, the conversation surrounding Taehyung's potential solo future showed no signs of slowing down. In fact, every new BTS activity seemed to create even more curiosity about what might happen next on an individual level. While fans were thrilled to see the members together again, many also recognized that each artist had grown significantly during the past few years. For Taehyung, that growth may be particularly important. Artists often evolve through experience, and the years leading up to 2026 have been filled with new challenges, achievements, and personal milestones. Supporters believe those experiences could influence the themes and emotions explored in future music. If a new solo project eventually arrives, many expect it to sound different from anything he has released before. Not because he would abandon his signature style, but because every stage of life brings new perspectives. This idea has become one of the most popular topics among fans. Some imagine an album inspired by reflection and maturity. Others picture music filled with optimism and renewed energy following BTS's reunion. A few even speculate that Taehyung may choose to tell stories that he has been carrying with him for years, but has not yet shared through music. Whatever direction he chooses, expectations remain incredibly high. One reason for this is the emotional connection many listeners feel toward his music. Fans often describe his songs as comforting, personal, and timeless. Rather than relying solely on trends, Taehyung has built a reputation for creating music that resonates emotionally with listeners. That reputation means any future release would arrive with considerable anticipation. Meanwhile, another interesting discussion has emerged online. Some fans believe that the next chapter of Taehyung's career may involve greater creative involvement behind the scenes. They point to the growing number of artists who participate directly in songwriting, production decisions, visual concepts, and overall creative direction. Because Taehyung has long demonstrated a strong artistic vision, many supporters think he may continue expanding his role in shaping future projects. Again, there is no official confirmation of any upcoming work. Yet these conversations reveal something important about how fans view him as an artist. They do not simply see him as a performer. They see him as a creator. Someone who carefully considers the emotions, visuals, and messages connected to his work. That perception has helped fuel excitement about what the future could hold. At the same time, some observers have suggested that the timing of a potential solo release would be particularly significant. The music industry in 2026 is highly competitive, with major artists constantly releasing new projects. Yet many fans believe Taehyung possesses a rare ability to command attention regardless of timing. His influence extends beyond music. His impact can be seen in fashion, culture, social media, and global entertainment conversations. Because of this, supporters are confident that any future release would become one of the most discussed events of the year. Still, there remains an element of mystery surrounding everything.
No teaser.
No track list. No official schedule.
No announcement.
Just speculation. And strangely enough, that mystery may be contributing to the excitement. Every day, without news creates more discussion. Every week, without confirmation inspires new theories. Every appearance generates fresh conversations about what might be happening behind the scenes. For some fans, the waiting itself has become part of the experience. They enjoy imagining possibilities, sharing predictions, and discussing what kind of artist Taehyung might become in the years ahead. And while nobody can predict the future, one thing seems certain. Whenever Taehyung decides to begin his next solo era, the response will be enormous. The music world will pay attention. The media will pay attention. Millions of fans across the globe will pay attention. Because after everything he has accomplished so far, people remain deeply interested in what he chooses to do next. Perhaps that is the strongest indication of all. Not a hidden clue. Not a mysterious social media post. Not an insider report. But the simple fact that years into his career, Audiences around the world are still eagerly waiting to hear the next story he wants to tell. For now, the future remains unwritten. Yet somewhere in the minds of fans, a vision continues to grow. A new song, a new album, a new era. And until Taehyung himself decides to reveal what comes next, the question will continue echoing throughout the fandom. Could 2026 become the year that Taehyung surprises everyone once again? At this moment, no one knows the answer. But if history has taught fans anything, it is that some of the biggest surprises arrive when they are least expected. AS fans continue watching every move, every appearance, and every update from Taehyung. One thing has become clear: the excitement surrounding his future has never been stronger. Whether a new solo project is already in the works or still remains a distant possibility, the anticipation alone shows just how much impact he continues to have on audiences around the world. For now, there is no official confirmation of new solo music. Everything remains speculation. But sometimes, the most exciting moments begin with a simple question and a lot of hope. Perhaps Taehyung is focused entirely on BTS activities. Perhaps he is quietly collecting ideas for a future project. Or perhaps he is preparing something that no one has even imagined yet. Whatever the case may be, fans know that when the time comes, he will reveal it in his own way and on his own schedule. Until then, millions of supporters will continue waiting, listening, and believing that another unforgettable chapter is still ahead. And if 2026 does bring new solo music from Taehyung, it won't just be another release. It will be the beginning of a brand new era that fans have been dreaming about for a very long time. For now, the mystery remains. But one thing is certain: whenever Kim Taehyung decides to share his next musical story with the world will be ready to listen.